How to assign resources to a project in Dynamics 365. Let's have a look. Now, during the project planning, if you remember in episode 13, when we created the schedule, that is the work breakdown structure, we identified the resource roles required for execution of the project. However, the resources that we used were like generic resources. Well, now when the project is ready for execution, it is time to give faces to those resources, that is assign actual resources. Now, there are three ways you can achieve that. One is hard booking. So you can hard book a resource to a project. The second option is to generate a requirement and then book a resource. And the third option is that you generate a requirement and then submit a resource request. So there is an approver who will approve that request and then you can reuse the resource. Now, the actual number of resources required can be seen from the Teams tab on a project. Now let's go ahead and have a look how you can assign resources in Project Service Automation. All right, so here I am in my Dynamics 365 environment. Let's just go to our projects, click on projects and open the project and go to the schedule. So over here we had already created the schedule. Now if you are not aware how to create the schedule, we had done that in episode 13 where we had created the whole work breakdown structure. So if you're not aware of that, you can go back and refer to that video. Okay, and you can see that there are various tasks which are defined and then where we had assigned resources over here. So if we go to our Teams tab, we will come to know, okay, what are the actual resource roles that we need. Right now, at that point of time when we were at the planning stage, obviously we had to choose the generic resource over here. Now it's the time to give them the real faces, right? So the first way in which you can book a resource is do a hard booking, and all you need to do is click on new and then select a resource over here. Let's say I need a technical consultant, so let me choose Jamie Reading, and she's a technical consultant, full capacity. Click on save and close. All right, so over here you can see that I have just directly done a hard booking. That means I have selected a resource and directly added to this team members page. Okay, and for this particular technical consultant, the system has already taken the period based on the project, and the hard booking for a number of hours is also scheduled. Now the second method is generating a requirement. So for example, in this case I can select a record for project manager, and I don't know like which project manager is available at the moment. So for this particular line I can select the record and click on generate requirement, and you will get a message the resource requirement for the selected team member has been generated. Click on OK, and then you will see that the required hours is generated and the assigned hours is also generated. You can again select that and then click on book. Now this will show the schedule board with the matching resource. Now just pay attention to the left hand side. The various filters have been applied over here. If we just remove this and click on search again, so now you can notice that a matching resource is available, that is Spencer Lowe. If you right click on this resource, click on view resource card, you can see much more information like skills and roles. Right now I have not set up skills, that's why it's not showing anything over here, but obviously the more details you do in the setup, the more detailed view you will get. Okay, now if you select that, then you have the option make the booking status as hard, and I can click on book. So once you book that, over here you can see more statistics at the bottom, like fulfilled duration is 59 hours, remaining duration is 68 hours 53 minutes, and from date to date, and the statistics over here that how much is already hard booked. So it's not completely 100%, and still there are some hours remaining, so you can also assign some other resources as well. So over here if you just click on close, so now you can see that Spencer Lowe, project manager, is available and hard booking has been done for 59 hours. He's not been able to fulfill complete book 100% because there is still 68.88 hours which is remaining according to the project. So the system is telling you that there is still 68.88 hours which are remaining, so you can go ahead and select some other resource on this project as well who has the role of project manager, or maybe you can change the settings for Spencer Lowe and make him available for rest of the hours. Now similarly we can book for another resource, let's say for a functional consultant. Now again we need to select this record and click on generate requirement, and once the requirement is generated for functional consultant, this time instead of clicking on booking, what we can do is we can submit a request to the resource manager. So we can click on submit request, and over here we can provide some comments over here. For example, I'm looking for functional consultant with business central experience, so click on OK, and then that request is sent to the approver. As far as the resource manager is concerned, he will actually log into the system. He will go into this request page, and he will see that okay, there is a new request that has been submitted. He will open that, review the request, and see all the details, and he will notice the description. Okay, we are looking for a functional consultant. So he will go to the resource requirement and see what is the dates that are the resource is required, and the other details that are available over here, like country, region, and everything else, and the business unit, and the resource category. Right. And the resource requirement is for Business Central implementation. So what he's going to do is that he's going to click on find resources. Now this will again open the scheduling board over here. You can check the filters and click on search again, and then you can see that there is a functional consultant, David So, which matches the criteria. So the resource manager will select the resource, and instead of hard booking, he will select proposed, because he's proposing the request. He's not hard booking it for the project, right? So click on proposed and then click on book, and now you will notice that the booking is almost 100%, and in this case it is showing in green and not in blue, which means that it is a proposal and not a hard booking. The resource manager will close this, and he can again go to the requests. Over here he can see that the record status is in progress, so he can open the record again, and then he can say okay, mark for review. So from the resource manager point of view, this task is done, and he has sent a resource for review. So as a project manager, he will go to the projects and open the project again and go to the teams, and over here you will see that in this record where you had generated the requirement or submitted the requirement, the request status is needs reviews. That means the project manager has to review if this resource is suitable. So now you can open this record over here, and under proposed resources, you can see over here the resource David So, who has been proposed as a functional consultant by the resourcing manager. So as a project manager of this project, I can see okay, let me just check in months, and these are the hours that he's available. And if as a project manager I think that this resource is suitable, I can go ahead and accept the proposal. If not, then reject the proposal. All right, so let's just go ahead and accept the proposal, and then just send a thank you note to the resourcing manager. Click on OK, and now over here in the teams you can see that David So, functional consultant, has been booked for the project, right? And similarly you can go ahead and do for business analyst as well. In this case I have already done it over here, and once you have done a booking of all the resources, and if you go to the schedule again and click on refresh, the generic resource roles would be replaced by the actual resource name over here. So in this case the business analyst role has been completely replaced by Molly Clark, because the booking was 100% for that, right? So this is how you can assign resources to a project and do bookings using the scheduling board as well. Why don't you go ahead and try it out for yourself?